Hello, I'm host Eric, host of Talking with Famous People, and I'm going to do a short video on a comment. I'll probably do several short videos on comments right now. The first one is this one. Peter Parker says, can you guys answer the question to the best of your ability? What age would you say the average person can fully develop 6 out of their cognitive functions? I think it's an excellent question, and I like cognitive function, developmental age questions. Cognitive function questions too, but developmental age questions in general I'm curious about. I do work with kids professionally. I'm a debate coach, and I get to see, I have some age rules for my school, which are based on my observations of cognitive developmental stages. So, first let me tell you at what age some things not cognitive functions develop. So, 4th graders, super advanced ones can, but mostly 4th graders can't really do debate. They don't really understand the arguments. Whereas the default is 5th graders can. Now, keeping in mind that there are always going to be individuals within a given class or age group that can't no matter what, and those that can, even if they seem a little on the young side. I mean, you're never going to get a 1st grader to do it or something, but there are some 4th graders who can do it. What they don't get is where the warrant is. They're not cognitively able to distinguish between a reason for something and other parts of what you're saying. So they can't take a warrant and apply it in 2 different situations. They can't generalize out the concept of the argument at all. In 5th grade, they can. That's going to relate to T, obviously, because it's about abstract analysis. So I think that additionally the question asks of when can they be fully developed? Okay, so this is a good question also, because as someone who's worked with middle schoolers for a long time, 5th graders, mostly 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grades, I find many of them fully capable and good company. It's like a lot of my debaters, once you're a debater, your relationship changes with your teacher, so that your teacher's no longer your boss figure, but your helper figure. And good debaters know that their job is to tell me what I'm not coaching them well enough at. And my job is to scramble to do it. So, as a consequence, I'm used to dealing with kids, quote unquote, as human beings, not as underlings. Sure, I yell at kids more than I do adults, probably. But I'm just as honest with the kids, too. And I tell them if I'm wrong, I will yell, God damn it, Connie, I told you. Eric, you never uploaded that into the Dropbox folder. You're yelling, screaming at me for not following the instruction, but you said you were going to upload in the Dropbox folder, and then I was supposed to do this, and you never uploaded it. And that was like 10 minutes ago. And you already forgot all about it. I'm like, oh, my bad. Sorry. I'm used to that shit happening all the time, So, because I treat kids like that, or no, not because I treat them like that. That's a fucking stupid way to say it too. Because I don't assume they aren't equals. Because I don't assume they aren't equals. I discover that a lot of times they are. Cognitively, for sure. You get a graduating 8th grade debater, their mind is in awfully good shape. I mean, it's a lot better off than a lot of adults' minds. They're not at their peak. See, that's the thing. No matter how good you are at anything when you're young, if you think you're fully developed, then you're saying to yourself, the time in front of me, I'll be completely useless. I'm never going to do anything. I'm never going to accomplish anything. I've arrived means from now on you have no place else to go. So don't worry too much about being fully developed in your thinking. Now, the actual simple utility of understanding or being able to use a framework, which is basically what a cognitive function is, being able to utilize a valuing system like a cognitive function or a manner of attention or whatever you want to call it in 4 dimensions as per Bukalov. Well, if that's an interesting question too, and I suppose to the extent that they aren't fully developed in youth, it's because they're not fully developed across all dimensions. Also, I think there's a little while when you're a child, it takes a while for your functions to settle into their proper order. I believe as a child, I was almost like an FE Dom. And Delilah too, in a lot of ways, is almost like an FE Dom. Because, well, I mean, you read about it, you hear me saying it and stuff, this obsession we have with being liked and all that kind of stuff. That's way worse when you're younger. In terms of worse, meaning your lack of acknowledgement of what's going on hinders you. Hindered me, let's put it that way. So, the real question is, at what point are you going to have the metacognitive tools and wherewithal and interest to do some serious work deternalizing some of the lies that have been internalized. And they're not even necessarily lies. Some of the truths that have been internalized have been internalized and but put in the wrong section. Some of the things that you've internalized, if you're, well, everybody, no matter who you are, no matter how old you get, you're still subject to this. Certainly I am. But a lot of the things that we have internalized when we're young, we put in the exclusive section, like this truth and none others. And when other truths butt up against them, things that we've miscategorized and put in the exclusive section, we kind of have a tendency to freak out a little bit. And I think the first real stage of self-development is laughing at your own biases. And imbalances.